the last time I was in OSA, and that's the sideline I was on. I was one of the bad guys. So, I'm more. It's less about the stadium and being Hawaiian. It's more about this team on this day and this game. That's I guess what I'm so focused on. This football team we're facing that we have so much respect for. The challenges associated with our season and our team and our travel. How do we manage all those things to give our guys the best chance to be successful on Saturday? That's where everything is right now between the years. The rest of it, I have a hard time, factoring in.
Once you get here and walk in the locker rooms, you hear the Hawaii 5-0 and all that other stuff. What's going to come back to you as individuals?
Ask me after the game, but I really don't know. I'm as I say, I'm so focused on just the game and the team and what's going to happen on the next snap, and trying to stay a couple of snaps ahead. I don't think I'm going to get lost in the moment. I think as you say, I've been there a few times. I think for 14 years or so, I've been in there. It's not like it's going to be. It's not going to be new. I know what the locker room looks like. I know what the stadium looks like. The field is still 100 yards long and all that. So I think we'll be okay. Again, my focus that evening is going to be on that moment and that challenge, and it's formidable.
Have you told your players that you have the distinction having the first tackle in the last game?
Okay, first you got to put an asterisk next to that. Okay, it was on the first scrimmage snap, and I think I did that. Okay, because but that's a Jim Leahy, won't let that go, wouldn't let that go. And if there had been a kickoff, or if there had been and I don't recall. But I didn't make the play on the kickoff. So if there was a tackle made on the kickoff, and whether it wasn't a touchback, then that's not true. I made the first snap. I jumped on somebody's back after he ran for 9 yards. Okay, it was not memorable. Nobody was patting me on the back for that one.
Do you have anything in your office? Is there any memories of your time in Hawaii that you have around you in your office from home or whatever?
Sure.
Well, don't go with Dick's home nothing.
well, if I could just go Dick Tone. Yeah, I've got some balls and I've got memorabilia and team pictures, and sure, that's a big part of my life there.
Do you have any game balls, any particular games from a player or coach or whatever?
I've got a couple of them.
For example?
Yeah. I was looking at one because I've got a game ball from the time we got after BYU so decisively when Norm was there. So that one's up there, and I think the first game I was a coordinator there. I've got that ball up there and some stuff like that.
Have you ever told your players your story about how you came to Hawaii?
No. All those things I did when I was 18, 19 years old. For like you, we put those things away, and we don't use that right now. So.
When you went to the academy, you embraced a lot of the traditions and a lot of the restrictions that they have there. How has that worked out? Has there been any second guessing of that?
Well, I mean, there's obviously have we cracked the code? Can't say I have. Can't that, and we haven't been able to get the scoreboard straight enough that we can say that we've cracked the code. But clearly, you're going to need to embrace the West Point developmental journey. That's why guys come here. That's why the institution exists. What we've got to do is find a way to make sure that we can find a way to mesh that larger experience, that more important experience, with this ever evolving world of Division I football. And it's not easy, and it's going to be entirely unique. And I think we've made some real progress, as I say. But the proof is going to be in the scoreboard, and until we can get that scoreboard validating what we're doing internally, that question is going to be continually asked, and it needs to be. Again, there's so much. There are some things that we've tried that we'll step back from. But there's an awful lot of things that we've been able to initiate that are helping guys develop and mature, and we're giving ourselves a chance to be competitive in a real for real Division I football field, while we are being successful at the other things that you need to be successful at here, or you've done the institution and the young men that have come here a disservice.
When you get back here, if you have the time after the game or whatever, is there anything you're going to particularly do, any place you're going to lead, anything you're going to do or see, or?
For really, I know I'm going there to coach a football game, and that's where all my mental energy and time and effort has been focused.
The team bus won't go by Rainbow Drive on the way back to the hotel?
No.
When you were here as a GA and as an assistant, you used to sit around the other assistant coaches and talk about places you wanted to coach someday. Way back when, you'd always mentioned that you wanted to coach at West Point. What got that in your mind? And
Well, I have a familial history here, as you know. I've always followed Army football because of my father and my brothers. That's what we did growing up. Again, when I had the opportunity, it was exciting.
appreciate your time. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Bert.
Any other questions for those joining us via teleconference? We'll come back here to Randall Hall Auditorium for one more round of questions. Rich in the back.
Hey, Rich. Park Army Radio. Just how is your team handling? You have the 3 weeks and now 2 games left in the season. Kind of like a 2-game season. How do they feel heading into this?
Well, as I say, it's been a little bit like preseason practice. We're excited to go. Guys are determined. We're practicing as well as we have in months. As I say, I'm frustrated. You and I were visiting earlier. I'm still frustrated that we're not healthier than, we had a couple of weeks to get away. We still can't seem to find that magic wand and get ourselves as healthy as we like to be. But we're as healthy as we're going to be, and we're excited to play, and we're well practiced. And the good news is we've got a chance to play Saturday.